So, hi everyone, this is Mediumship Monday. So, I'm in my bed and I just decided to stay here because I meditated in my bed and I thought, I really can't be arsed just getting up to go all the way through the living room. And by the time I finish, I just have to go through and turn the lights off and everything. So anyway, I just thought, nah, I'm going to do this in my bed and it's as long as it is meant to be, whatever. So I sound a bit sleepy. I doubt that I'll actually go to sleep after this, but you never know. I've got the videos to upload and stuff, but that can always that can wait. So that might be a message for you. Does it really need to be done today when they're timeless? They'll get done when they need to get done. So yeah, I think that is a message, right? So it's a bit of a different one. It's going to be different every week. It's different in the sense of it wasn't so much a queue of loved ones coming forward. It was a bit of that, but it was more like so I had so basically I'll start with that. Someone's grandma or grandmother, whatever you would call them, you might call them nana or nan or whatever, came forward, and there's one message like that, and then I'm laughing, and then it was like someone came forward for me, and it was, which isn't unusual, 144, and I'm actually probably going to cry during this video because it was really quite moving. But what happened to me was so that I could feed it back for all of you that need to hear it. And by the way, can I just say, it's kind of blowing my mind. Well, I'm not really that surprised, but it's kind of blowing my mind that I just thought, oh, the phone's staring at my duvet. But it is butterflies, and butterflies are about transformation, but I thought it's a bit boring. So I just picked up the nearest card because I've got 4 card decks here, and that was the first card that I picked up. So, and it does actually make it makes a lot of sense because I am a twin flame channel here, obviously, and like I am a divine twin flame channel, and this is a twin flame channel, but also just the time that we're at on the planet, about wherever you're at, the physical twin flame reunions where you come together with your twin and then you part again because you still need more time to grow, or which is what reunion means to me, and the unions when you stay together happening, and we're all at different bits of that, and of course it's the uniting of your own soul within you, your own feminine and masculine energy. The reason why it really moved me, like I burst out into cries. See, this is how sleepy I am. It was like, basically, I put the timer on for 30 minutes. And like I got all the stuff through from this grand that I'm going to share whenever I start sharing. I just looked at free ascended masters coming in. And it was like when someone appeared for me in spirit, I was like, oh, like I totally want to hear what you want to say to me, but can you tell me tomorrow, or can you? And then I felt shan, like shan means like bad, like that's a shame kind of thing. That's what it means. And I was like, why am I saying that? Like that would be like someone coming to the door of heaven, knocking at the door, because that's basically what I'm doing as a medium. And you'd be like, oh, sorry, right now isn't convenient, can you come back later? Like, what if they couldn't manage to get through and again? Like, that's really profound, isn't it? I just looked at 418, 184 is my birthday, and remember, it was a message for me. So it was like somebody coming to the door for me from spirit, and me being like, sorry, I've actually got to put all these other people before me. So although I'd really love to hear from you, because it was someone that I really wanted to hear from, like, because it was, could you just come back later? That would be like waiting on your twin flame to come into your life after a very long time and be like, could you just come back later? Actually, I've got other shit to do. Oh my god. So anyway, I obviously back turned and I was like, wait a minute, actually, sorry, I was like, what is it you want to say to me? And it like, it was something like it took me the whole of the rest of the time. So I'd say, it must have been 20 minutes, but it felt like forever. And it was just, yeah, I was being told all this stuff, and I'll just see how that all sort of comes through for everyone. And then, but it was really just when the timer went off, I was like, oh my god, I've used up all the time, right? But then they were like, no, put that back on, right? And it was about basically me receiving. That's my stomach, by the way, if you can hear it. It was about, oh shit, I think they're trying to remind me, the pizza, I got a pizza and which that was, listen, I know that's not the best, it's not the best to be getting a takeaway, but my food shop comes tomorrow, so I was like, what's the kindest thing I could do for myself right now? And that was it. So, but there's something about the number on the thing was 18.5. So there was something about the 18th of May being significant. And there was an 85 in it as well, so 1985. Again, bringing in those of you that are born 1985, because of the North Node thing that I said, that's your North Node return when you're 37. And I can help any of you more with that, in a session if you want me to look at your chart and everything like that. Because it is a big time. It is a big time for some area of your life. Like I say, for me, it was work, career calling. For other people, it's their love lives. A bit of everything. I just looked at 707, and I also looked at my text messages, and I've got 7 messages. I'm just going to see why I've got that many. Alright, it's just when people send loads of it. So there's something about 777. That's hilarious. That actually reminds me of that episode of Friends, and Monica's like 777. You'd only get that if you've seen it. Quite funny. Oh, that would certainly be about the sacred unions. Right, so but yeah, 7 is heaven, actually. 7 is heaven. Connected to heaven, the crown chakra. Yeah, but right, okay, so I'm going to read my notes, but basically it was, no, I'm going to start off with what I'm saying there about the big profound message, because it was like, they told me to put the alarm on for 30 minutes, right? And I thought, right, and they were like, we want that 30 minutes to be just for you to receive what you need. And then it's like, my I'm not going to lie, because I'm trying to be really honest, I was like, but I want to get the messages for other people. Like, it's almost as if, like, that's fucking up what it's for. But they were like, you need it right now. Like, you deserve it. And so it was about, so the point is, yes, that is true for me. But when we bring it back to this thing, and your twin flames as well, because this is all for twin flames. If you don't allow yourself to receive whatever it is you need, whether tonight it must have been that I needed that healing, which again, if I go into my mind, it doesn't make logical sense, because I've cut about kind of absolutely chilling, and I couldn't actually really tell you what I've done with my day. I think I've even had the telly on today, if I'm honest. No, I have. I had the telly on for a bit, but anyway, do you know what I mean? I've kind of just been a bit of a daze, but I had a really restful, chilled weekend and all that as well. But anyway, the point is, it's like you don't always know on a conscious level what it is you need. It's a bit like why I keep channeling about subconscious mind. There's something on a deeper level that you're really needing to stop and slow down and receive. And if you're not doing that, it's probably why other stuff isn't going the way you want it or is delayed. I think they're trying to say to me, and that's Mercury retrograde, but it's got a lot to do. Wait a minute, actually, they're pulling me those new cards. It's just basically got a lot to do with the fact that your twin flame is a mirror, and I know that that can be really confusing sometimes because you're like, what? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like I can do the teaching of it and that, but sometimes when you're actually in it, it means different things at different times to me. It's not actually straightforward. So, but especially when it comes to self-love, because you love your twin flame so fucking much, like you can absolutely spill over into, I'm just going to hold back my needs for them because I can handle this and I don't know if they can. Like, you know, that kind of feeling. And that doesn't matter about what one yard gender. I just looked at 1111 when I was saying that. But the problem is, if you do that too much, that actually pushes them further away because you're not, you know what I mean? You're not putting your needs first. And there are times in life where you really do need, really all the time, you do need to put yourself first. And that's why I'm always really honest that majority of the time, I'm really good at that. I just looked at 1144 and I said that too. And then other times, it just depends what's going on with me or what I'm sensing going on with my twin. It's like you could kind of get sucked into this different place of wanting to send them love all the time, and you know, without kind. And again, obviously, some people take it to the next level and they literally will, you know, like hounds, like actually contact them and like the physical and stuff, which is that's not what I do, but it's it doesn't really matter either way. So whether you're somebody that just goes to wanting to make sure they're all right and send them healing energetically, or whether if you're in a situation where you know you want to check up on them or you want to, like, it doesn't really matter. It's about the fact that if your focus is going too much on them, it actually can't help them with their healing. And more importantly, it can't help you if you're healing. Because I done it again, I went back to it. It's not going to help them, but it's not going to help you either. So there's some of you that really, really need to hear that there. And I know that that's not everyone right now, but I'd imagine if you're listening to this, it will apply at some point. Now I'm just going to reach over and get those lovely dovey cards. Right, so interesting, we still got that card sitting there. What do we need to, so to ask a specific question, these are very intense. They all arrived on the same day, which is quite interesting. So maybe it's something about today being the 9th and happy birthday, Grandpa. He wasn't actually, funnily enough, someone that came to chat. It's my grandpa's birthday in spirit, and it's my nana's birthday in spirit in a few days. There's Capricorns. Maybe it's someone else's birthday out there watching this. Right, give us a message to sort of give us an indication of what that's about for people out there. What is it now? These are intended to be from a divine masculine to a divine feminine, or a runner to a chaser, or a matrix twin to the spiritual twin, whatever you would want to call it. So logically my head's saying it might not make sense for a feminine back to a masculine, but we'll take a gamble. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, but it usually always pays off. So there's something about taking a risk, taking a gamble here. What does the feminine want to say to the masculine collective? Oh, deep shit. I'm going, oh god, what am I doing? Spiritual awakening. Now, obviously, if that had been the masculine to the feminine, absolutely. We noticed guys and gals out there. But this actually fits in beautifully with what I channeled in the other video, which I don't know what order you'll see these in. I'll just put it there because you can kind of see it. That everyone is going through a spiritual awakening. So absolutely divine feminines are going through an even heightened part of their ascension. Because in the video that I channeled for yesterday, which would be whatever for Saturday, Sunday, 7th, 8th January. But again, they can be timeless, but that's when I recorded it on the Saturday. I pulled accelerated motion or something like, I think it's fast tracked ascension for the feminine. So it's like the feminine's getting even deeper spiritual insights about this journey. And I do feel that's like what I just channeled, and I'm going to look what's on the bottom. Oh my god. I need to heal my own issues first. Triggering but true. I'm telling you, that's the phrase I'm coining for here. Triggering but true. I need to heal my own issues first. So the feminine is going through an accelerated part of spiritual awakening. And if you are the feminine twin, you are being guided to look a little deeper at where you, it basically is about receiving even more love. Even more love where you need it, because you do deserve it. And that's basically what they were saying to me. And now I'm going to read the bit before I do the masculine. Didn't sound right, did it? Right, so what have I wrote here? I can't read my own writing. Pen up to fully... Oh, not pen up, open. I've put open up to fully receive the love you deserve, not others first, to be polite. So that can go for what I channeled, like for doing that. Oh, look what's on the bottom. Even if we never meet again, you will always hold the key to my heart. That's rather beautiful, isn't it? But it's definitely, like, not even your twin. You know what I mean? Like, if you're still doing that, you've got to keep bringing it back to you. And I'm just being really, really honest here. I mean, I'm always really, really honest. If you're new, this is not like some kind of debut vulnerable video. It's like, I'm always honest like this, but sometimes you can take it really deep. It's like, I've been on this journey, conscious of it, for 12 years, and it's a crazy ride. I mean, it's an honour, but it is a crazy ride, and it's always changing and growing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just when you think you're getting to sort of like deeper parts of it, it is like that. It's like you can't drop the ball on that whole self-love thing. Like, some days you're going to be better at it than others. Some weeks you're going to be better than others. But if you go too much into the coming away from yourself, and like, it's basically like going into kind of, alright, warrior mode. I was about to say, oh, it's only me, I can handle it. Like, being quite a toughie, which we're all guilty of, I would say. And definitely, like, in that case, like does attract like, and I feel I have attracted a lot of people like that, because I'm like that. And then I put right, and then that's so. But also, more when they said it to me in the moment, it actually wasn't about the twins to one another, but that's the way it's come through, and I'm feeding it back now. So that must be a message someone needs to hear. We all need to hear it. I need to hear it too. Definitely need to hear it. It was more like, you need to fully open up to the love you deserve, and not put others first before your needs to be polite. And then it's like they were showing me clairvoyantly when, like, anyone, like if anyone needed something from me, not too long ago, again, for the sort of, I would say the past sort of 6 months of last year, which is weird, when it was only like a week ago, that's what I moved into, like, but I had to create really, really strong boundaries around me, where I knew I was going to kind of be prone to being like, oh God, I really shouldn't, but I'll just help that person. And so look at where you're like that in your life, where it's like, no, stop being a people pleaser, like in everywhere in your life. And you have to risk that people aren't going to like it. Loads of people won't like it. But ultimately, if it means you're going to get the happiness and the love you deserve, it's got to be worth it, hasn't it? And so I put an extra 10 minutes on the alarm, because after I got these messages for all of us, but like say a lot of this bits of it was for me as well. It was like they then said, no, not an extra 10 minutes. when to put an extra 10 minutes. And then I've put, you get the full devoted time. So that's going to mean different things to different people, but it's like, stop giving yourself like a shitty wee sort of 10 minutes of fucking something for yourself or whatever. Like, so again, it's going to mean different things to different people, but the biggest message was, and again, it's quite funny because that specifically isn't me, because like you say, I have a Monday off every week, and that's all for me. Apart from now, what I've added in is this, but actually, I love this, because as you see, especially this week really was mostly for most of it was for me, and then I'm sharing the bits and bobs that I know are going to make sense to others. So where do you need to do that? Where do you need to not be about that, making it about everyone else, and make sure you're receiving that love? Because basically, if you don't open up to receive love, especially, but if you're just not very open to receiving in general, and you'd rather be given or helping others, it's going to be practically impossible to receive the love of your life, or to keep that. It will just be a bit of that, a bit of meeting up when it's divinely timed and then coming apart again. That's why this reminds me of friendship, because Luke's got friendship. That's what a school reunion is, isn't it? You hadn't seen someone for 10 years, and then you meet up at a party, and then you don't see them again forever. Or 10 years later, you know what I mean? And that's not what you want with your twin flame. Yeah, and then I wrote, stop trying to do it all by yourself. I think that's when I started crying. And it's got, when you've got people here who will love you where you're at. And then they showed me in my third eye that card that's like, so, and then this is where they were like, so yeah, what that basically meant is, wherever you know that you need somebody, you need to talk to somebody about something, but you kind of talk yourself out and you're like, oh, do you know what, actually, I can just deal with this myself. That's what they were saying to me is, yes, sometimes that is wise, and definitely when it comes to twin flame reunions or unions, if you've reunited with your twin flame, as in you're talking to them again, or if you're in the union, you should have a card that's called that, the union, then just keep it amongst yourselves. I would strongly advise keeping it amongst yourself, but of course that you may need to get support elsewhere too, because it's about getting what you need, you know what I mean? And if there's challenges going on there, get the support, you know what I mean? But it was more just, if you're a bit stuck in your head, and it would help you out your head, which is what I do for people being a counsellor, but you don't need to go to a counsellor every time you've got a problem. But there's something in that. I just channeled, you don't need to go to a counsellor every time you've got a problem. So someone's talking themselves out of going to counselling because they think they can do it all by themselves. That's what I think that's for someone. Because then I saw in my third eye that card that says, fuck, you need your people. And I was going to get that deck, but I can't be arsed, I don't even know what it is. So what I'm saying is, there's somebody out there that is like, actually, whether it's your spiritual awakening, whether it's something to do with twin flame journey, whether it's nothing to do with either of that, but I'd imagine it is part of both. Where is it that you could reach out to help for either a friend or a healer, or maybe both, and you're just not doing it, and you're telling yourself, I'm hearing that line out that song, I'll put my armour on, show you how strong I am. You know what I mean? Like, but not in a good way. Like, I'll do this myself. Because basically, if you do that, your twin will keep doing that. So don't do that, basically. So that will land with the people that it's meant to. So now talking of that, actually, that's good timing. What is the divine masculine? Oh, I'm healing, but it's a work in progress. That's what the masculine wants to say back to the feminine. So far I've been forgot the cards for the feminine, but it's the feminine card was something like, I've got my own healing to do, isn't it? So there's not enough. I know I need to apologise. Too late to apologise. Too late. I just love the tune of that. It's not too late to apologise. It's never too late. And then I need to heal my own issues first. That's this. Is that not the same one? And then look at that. You are worthy of so much more than what I can give. I want to explain myself to you. We need time to heal and grow on our own first. Now, what I feel this is about, I won't feel any more because then it gets a bit too much, but, like, I mean, not too much as intense, but is that too? I mean, it's like, let me pick it apart a bit. I feel this may have actually already happened for a lot of you, and that's why the reunions are taking place, or the unions, whatever, it'll be a mixture of it. If it's not happened, it'll be happening soon. And how long is soon? Do you know what I mean? It's debatable, but yeah, I feel that's what this has been about. You needed time to heal and grow on your own. But when I say on your own, karmic partners will be involved as well. That's part of the learning, the clearing of the energy needs to take. You need other people to trigger you, including your twin triggers you. You never stop triggering each other, to be honest. What order did that come out? Like, and they're devoted, or you're devoted to healing. So healing's messy, isn't it? That's what's coming to me. It's like healing's not always comes in a neat package. And whoever this is about, it's a divine masculine collective though, it's like they want to apologise for whatever they've recognised that they want to. Needing to heal their own issues first. So maybe I feel that's actually difficulty around apologising for things. Because that is that if you've had people around you that gaslight you, there's codependency, possibly even narcissistic behaviour, which is around all twin flames, at least somewhere. It can be quite hard to apologise if you've never really had, that around you. You're worthy of so much more than I can give. That's again someone not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy of this love. Very common for all twin flames. Can I just say that this is a divine masculine saying this, but if you're a true twin flame, you will have felt that way at one point. So you might not feel like it now, but you would have felt like it at one point. Like, obviously I can't speak for, what my twin feels about now, but I can say from my point of view, before I'd worked on myself, like, I didn't feel good enough for him. I mean, not that he was fucking putting the offers out there for us to be in, like, but but I didn't, like, you know what I mean? I channel about that all the time, but I just didn't get why he liked me. Which does always really make me really sad when I say that, because I had it going on back then, and I've certainly got it going on now. Do you know what I'm saying? So but that, you see what I mean? And it's like, I'm a couple of stone heavier, I'm a couple of, I'm a more than a couple of years older, got a lot of grey hair and wrinkles opposed to that time, but it doesn't matter. When you love yourself unconditionally, you're like, why the fuck did I feel like that? So just, just reflect on that, whichever one you are. But, and it can still be lingering as well, I'd say, for both, but you just basically, I can't even put into words. You do just think your twin flame's amazing, but that's a whole different ballgame if they're still showing up in distorted behaviour, which both twins can do, because you trigger each other. Like, so for instance, you might be really calm all the time with everyone else and you've worked on yourself, but your twin might say something that really piss you off and you could snap. You know what I mean? I could totally see that happening in my case. Majority of the time I would say no, but it depends how cheeky he was being. Do you know what I mean? But like, that's when I think in the unique case of me will come away from it. But it's just, I can't really see that happening much or at all, because he sees me do this. It's like, yeah, and like I say all the time, like, there's nothing I want to be giving him a row about. It's not my job to give him a row about anything. I just mirror back, unfortunately, what he needs to heal with in himself, and if he's got a lot to heal with himself, it's going to be quite intense. But he does the same for me. That's what you do with your twin. And when you can talk to each other and do that, because remember that was the other card I want to explain myself, when you can explain what it is you need, then you can, you've got a better chance of working it out. I wish I could just turn back time and start over with you. Right, we're not in, the grass wasn't greener on the other side, but that applies. Usually it applies for everyone at some point. Because the truth is, you're all I can think about. Step by step, I'm becoming the person you deserve. But the thing is, like, that's admirable when someone wants to do better for you, but you need to do better for you, and then you go to your twin. Anyone in that position. And I feel this is both twins to each other. I miss you more than you realise. And I'm going for a special lightning, so both got that. Yeah. I want to be more than friends. That's what I always say, isn't it? There's some people out there say different, but it's, you don't want to be friends. You don't want a fucking reunion. You don't want a high school reunion where you're trying to play. You want the union. That kind of union. Right, so actually let's just shuffle to see if another card, because there is the sacred, actually, yeah, the sacred union. That's what's in this deck. So then if you want to say with whatever, because I think that was all the notes that came out. So basically the biggest point is there is, if that resonates, stop trying to do it all by yourself, because if you try to do it all by yourself, especially if you're the feminine, that's what your twin's going to keep mirroring back, and you may be doing it in very sneaky ways that you're not recognising you're doing it, because that's, in my case, when I fall into that 33 minutes divine masculine, that's when I'm like, whereas other weeks I could be like, wow, I really feel like I've gave back to myself and put myself first, and I haven't sat about in a daydream about him too much, and because it is hard to do it, trust me, it's hard not to do it when you miss someone that much. Right, tell us something about that. The sacred water. Oh my god, look, the sacred waters. Nourishment, replenishment, health. Health keeps coming out, by the way, reverse, upright, you name it. Health, rest, and self-care. That's what I've just been channeling about. Doesn't matter whether you're divine feminine, divine masculine, or whether you're anywhere near your physical union or reunion, because to be honest, you just don't have a fucking clue. It can happen at any point. So just take care of yourself. We're in a Mercury retrograde, and that is about resting and restoring and not rushing as well. Come to me. Attracting like a rose, receive oh my god, receive abundance desires. And what have I just bloody said? Again, it's not me, it's God through me, but it's like divine through me, whatever you want to call it. That's how you attract whatever it is you want, whether it's your twin, money, ideal situations, and it's got the word receive on it. You know what I mean? Very divine fit. Oh my god, look at that. The return. A new story, you decide, alignment. It's all coming together. Because you see, the thing is about, so again, this bit isn't really going to apply to, no, again, I need to stop saying that, right? I'm going to stop saying it. I'm going to try and stop saying it. This is what I'm saying, is this is for a unique bunch of people out there that this is going to apply to, either right now or in the near future. It's about alignment. But it is about alignment for everyone, but particularly if it's about the return of the twin flame in your life. It's about when you, oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. So say you get to this magical place of being in alignment, right? You're giving back to yourself enough, you're loving yourself, you're looking after yourself, you're not sitting about daydreaming about your twin flame 24/7 and worrying about them and sending them healing, and you do your thing, like say, send them healing when you're guided to, or like I don't, when you're a twin flame anyway, they're usually the first person you think about in the morning and the last person you think before you go to sleep, you know what I mean? And I just sound like I stole the line from When Harry Met Sally, but whatever, it is true. But try and cap it, you know what I mean? Especially if you're the feminine, because you usually know more about this. But you can't always help it, because you can feel them thinking about you too. It's very intense. What was I going to say about that though? But yeah, but just as you can be in the good kind of alignment, I truly do believe if you allow yourself to sink so low and missing them, or like you fall into like so much doubt or worry or fear, I don't know, something like that, there could actually be, you could bump into them. But it's kind of like what they're saying is that's not, oh look, 37 minutes. Oh, fucking hell, man, I'm telling you, that is fascinating now that I know that is mainly about the nodal, like the North Node return. Yeah, it's like, well, it would always be meant to be, but do you know what I'm saying? It's like that wouldn't be the return, that would be the first card, the reunion, because it might just be that you need to see each other to spark something more about your spiritual awakening and to more healing. Or in the case of the masculine, it could just be that the masculine needs to know that it's real, like that these feelings that they fantasize about are real, but then, oh shit, right, they are real, this is real, now I need to go away and do more healing. It's the crowning, initiation, thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. Yeah, and that's a seat at the table is about feeling worthy, isn't it? So it's like new beginnings, the foreign protection, boundaries, clear communication. That's definitely about Mercury retrograde. But again, it's about, it would be a test of boundaries, isn't it? It's like, have you got the strength to be able to recognise that it's time to spend a lot of time with each other yet, or not? It'd be different for different people. Right, so a random message, I don't know who this is for. They pull me to what's meant to be will always find out its way. The mug from my grandma in the kitchen. So this might actually tie in with the grandma that was giving me the message. And then they told me, I've wrote that down, so I'll share that in the community bit. They were like, you need to share the heart chakra binaural beat. So it's the one that I've used for like, God, I don't know, 8 years or something. I always joke that I must be a few of those million or billion views, but so I just feel that would really help those of you that don't know much about that. Like I used to basically, in my worst part of my dark night soul, I used to listen to that on low, either just without headphones on low, or with headphones, like, and I slept, and it really helped me. I still do it. That's what I listened to when I was meditating today. I still do it if I'm feeling really anxious, or if I really feel for just, for some reason I need it. So whatever that helps someone. And what would we need to do with that? Angel of strength. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If you need a bit of strength wherever you're at on your journey, make sure that you go to you. I'm really honoured and humbled that people go to mass shamanic journeys when they need a bit of strength, and it helps because it's not just a meditation or healing, it's soul retrieval. It's very powerful. It's not going to be as powerful as if you book a one-to-one, although some people tell me it is. So, but personalised, it's going to be powerful, but it's more personalised if you get something for yourself. If you go for a specific situation, like for instance, if you need a soul retrieval to speak your voice, it would be very wise. There's something like 39 there. Just trust me, it's 39 on the page, on the card. If you need a soul retrieval because you can't find your voice, you know, I've actually helped loads of you, like all of the, yeah, I can think of like any kind of long session that I've done with someone, it's always been about that, because that's what it is for Divine Masters mostly. Because they're usually surrounded by this, look at this. The garden, the gate of hostilities, that's the card about you can actually get out of this. Like, you've got the power to get out of this. But maybe it might be that you need to go to a healer first to find your voice, to find your boundaries, to get away from the hostilities. There's to find your strength. Yeah, there is. That's what we've looked at. Strategy 21 again. Man holding the heart, caring connection, angel of love, divine feminine. Yeah, it is that. It's like, it's just what they were saying. It's what I channeled over the weekend. There's a lot of people in situations where they're still being really controlled, in either romantic situations, past people that are still in some way pulling you back, you know, like manipulating you, or family members or friends. There's something like that. Right, so this was somebody's random granny. So I put grandma/grandmother, lemon sherbet, so that's only going to make sense to whoever this is for. What have I put here? Oh yeah, that was really weird. I heard that, or they just told me running up that hill, you know, the Kate Bush song, but I don't even really know the words, and I don't even really like it, to be honest. So whatever it means to you, but it's like, it was something about, you know, you're in difficulty right now, and she's helping you, your gran, and something totally surreal happened to you, either recently or, you know, in recent months or weeks, or maybe it's not happened yet, and it was like you couldn't believe it even happened. So I'm getting the feeling it was already, something's already happened, or this is how you're going to feel, but I feel like something's already happened, and it's like, yeah, you just feel like, was that even real? And again, that feels like very Neptune and Pisces kind of feeling. And if you actually have got, so say you've actually got a Pisces placement there, like a sun or a moon or something, or whatever, I bet you that's going to really make sense to a lot of you guys. Like, it's like, because Neptune and Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces, and that is dreams, it's psychic stuff, it's all the feels, it's your deepest fears, remember, because the Pisces Neptune energy is the 12th house. But if that was actually like conjunct, which it is for, so say if you've got a Pisces moon right now, it is well, it depends if you're, yeah, it depends the degree you're, anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's like, it's I just keep getting this dream-like energy, which in some ways it could feel pretty magical, in other ways it could feel pretty terrifying. So that's not going to make sense to everyone, but I feel it will to whoever needs it. Right, and then I need to really hug and nurture yourself, your inner child. Oh yeah, and I think that's what happened to me right before they then made me just receive the healing that I needed, because I told you it all in a different order. Because I literally went cold, right? So like, I don't know whether actually the person this is for doesn't actually feel well right now. Like, you've been getting a bit too cold, need to put on extra layers, or maybe you've got a cold or a flu or something, or it's ascension symptoms. But yeah, the message was, there's a need to really hug and nurture yourself. Like, and I mean, like, because it was like, I actually started putting my arms around me, like, because it was cold, and I've got a hot water ball, but because like my heating in my house is terrible. But yeah, it was like, you really need to hug yourself, you know what I mean, whatever that means, just look after yourself, and then everything's going to work out better than you've dreamed of. And I've put exciting view of a sunset Oh yeah, it was like weird. It was like I just looked at 4444. All the fours, the angels coming in. It was like I was seeing like a sunset, but then they like showed me like walking into a fun park. So it was basically like whatever the next part of your journey is, it's going to be better than you could ever imagine. So I'm just going to see what is it you want to say to whoever that's for. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. So whatever situation, oh look at that, and it's only going to the clouds or hearts. There's the words. Life is a series of choices. Choose love. So I feel it's about choosing love over fear. So in the situation that you're in, what would be choosing love? What would make you the most happiest? Go towards that. What would be choosing fear? My mind is free, and I've just pulled it upside down as well. So that feels like right now, if this is for you, you don't feel you feel that's what I was. This ties in with what I was feeling. Feels like some days, like it does feel like spell work. And again, when I say spell work, for people that don't like get that, although I talk about it all the time, but you could be new. It's like where someone has fucked with your mind a bit and told you you're not good enough, or made you feel like you're not good enough, or kind of one minute they're being loving to you, the next they're being horrible, all that kind of codependency kind of shit. Yeah, this is definitely, I can feel it's about getting away from wherever. Look, and there's another sort of doorway gate thing. This is like going into the new earth. And then I've pulled you nothing to feel guilty about, but again, I feel that's about wherever you've been around, you're around people that make you feel like that. I have a new understanding, but I feel that's actually you that's getting a new understanding on your spiritual awakening. And I send you love and signs from nature, and that is from your grand sending you signs, basically to guide you out of wherever you're stuck, because I've become one of your guides. I'm so much better now, and there's a rainbow, and I saw the rainbow today. I posted it to say that I was doing this, so maybe that's for, but I hope that meant something to you, and they're making me pull one more, and then that's actually that, guys, and I'm going to watch this back. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't pull an Egyptian card when I showed it the other day, so I'm going to pull one of them. Right, what else do we need to know, whether it's to go with that person's gran, or I feel it is. What else do you want to say? Sophia. Oh my god, wouldn't that be funny if it made sense to Sophia? Divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within destiny. Yeah. So I do actually, I bet bits of that will make sense to Sophia, but it's quite funny actually. She did pop in my mind when I was saying it at one point, and I did sort of, I just sort of acknowledged it. But I don't, even if that happens, I don't say, because it's like somebody might not want that to happen. But yeah, destiny. So that's the divine feminine energy, the Sophia codes. I'm often channeling that kind of energy, if not all the time. Right, I'm going to shuffle these Egyptian cards, so let's see what comes out. This is probably going to be a wow one, because it's a bit of a random deck to be led to, but I could be led to any deck. So, hopefully you got some sort of wisdom out of what I said. Really, to be honest, we don't like the word should, but I'm going to use it. Everyone should get something out of what I said, because whether you're close to a physical reunion, union, or not, it will come at some point, and it will only come if you find that union within yourself. And that would be protecting your boundaries, using your voice, not putting other people before you all the time. Cut out people pleasing. If you do all these things, getting to the bottom of why do you do that. That's why I've been channeling about attachment styles, or whatever makes sense to you. Because again, that whole sort of model it does make a shitload of sense. Again, if you go and look at yourself, you can have a few kind of fucking moments for yourself, you know what I mean? It's either you see where the patterns are around you in your life for others, or I would say mostly you see for yourself though, that you're like, shit, that's what I'm prone to do when I'm not in my best. But it's like knowledge is power. So once you know that, you know what I mean? And then that's why I'm always going to communicate. whether it's a friend, whether it's a client, whether it's a family member, definitely whether it's a twin flame, but again, that's a bit different because it's an alchemical process you're going through. Communication really is key. But some people find it easier to communicate than others, so then you have to have compassion for yourself and for all involved. Very, very complicated, guys, but again, it's like when you can recognise why you find it difficult to find your voice and where that comes from, and not go to a place of blame or shame for others or yourself, which all takes work, then you can start the process of reprogramming that. And that's where you go and get healing, you go to a shaman, you go and get Reiki. Start gentle, I would say. I think it would even be wise to get something gentle like Reiki and then build up to shamanic healing. Like, so for instance, I'm both. So if somebody hadn't had anything at all and they were totally new to this, I would start by sending quite gentle healing. But that doesn't really tend to be a lot of people that are drawn to me. Maybe years ago I would get people that, like lots of you that have followed me for years, will be somebody that, like, you'll say in the comments every now and again, or on the live chats, or that I was, like that I awakened you on your journey for the first time, or you know what I mean, like that I was a big part of your spiritual awakening and everything like that. Like, actually, it's quite funny because I had a synchronicity recently where I've spoken about this before, but when I'd done a bit of work, a bit of a bit of my double agent online work, years ago now. It was, I don't know, 2017, I think, something like that. And anyway, long story short, like, there was a few people that really loved me when I done that, that then went on to become like really quite huge in them, themselves. But then, like I say, there's a few people that really love me in these things that then disappeared again, because it's like attracts like. So I think it's funny, isn't it? It's like I was doing something that I was keeping on the down low, and I still do, and it's and it wasn't time. Yeah, it just wasn't time for me to be that out there yet. And then, but I was still, I activate people. I hold the key codes, the light codes, whatever you want to call it. Like, it activates people on their journey. And so anyway, blah blah blah. That's a bit kind of cryptic, but anyway, I'll keep it that way. But what I'm saying is, it's like, you're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of people either that were about a few years ago when many of you would have went through the heightened part of your spiritual awakening, and they suddenly reappear because they know it's time, right? Or there's people like me that were kind of playing small for quite a long time, and then they upped it. They cranked it up a gear, whether I liked it or not, when it was my North Node return, because they were like, right, you're not ready for your twin flame reunion because he's not ready, because his is a while away and it's just not time. But you are ready to start channeling about, well, first of all, they started me gentle, you're ready to start putting your shamanic journeys out there. And then, only a year ago, they were like, right, now you're ready to start talking about what you're actually here to talk about, twin flames. Right, anyway, let's see if a card about twin flames comes out, or whatever comes out. So the point of me going back to talking about what they done to me is that's because that was my North Node, like my North Node's in Gemini, and that was when the North Node was in Gemini. It was also when, at the very start of, like, well, yeah, round about the kind of start of the pandemic. So people needed it. People needed soul retrieval. They needed energy clearing. They needed stuff like that because they were stuck in the house, or, mostly stuck in the house, and they needed to go within. They needed things like meditation, healing. So if you are one of the people that it's your North Node return, you don't need to be 37. I can't remember what the other ages are, but you can look at that yourself in that article. It's because there are quite a wide range of people that follow me, so there might be other people that are having their North Node return that are not the ones that are 37 kind of thing. Wait a minute, that's so weird. It just got to 54 minutes. See if it's 50. Oh, I think it is 55. That's so funny. Let me just double check that. Oh, it fucking is, guys. That's crazy. Look. Oh, wait a minute. Look. 55. No mistakes around here. So yeah, you know what I mean? So those of you that are 55 now or approaching, wait a minute. No, it would be if you're 55. Oh, fuck, okay, it's too confusing, whatever. Yeah, big changes in your life going on. In fact, I need to check in with a couple of my best pals, because my best pal in particular has a North Road in Taurus. I need to check in and see what's going on with her. The last time though I spoke to her, we went for breakfast. It was work stuff. It was big work, and it was having to assert her boundaries, which is very hard when you're a really kind, beautiful person, because we're taught, look, 55 minutes, we're taught that that's the nice way to be. But that's why she attracted a badass Aries best pal to be like, tell him to get the fuck. I'm joking, I don't say it like that, but I say it my own way. But like, if she tells me something that's not fair, I'll make sure that, tell her in a very calm, grounded way sometimes, or sometimes I will be like, yeah, you're taking on a bit too much, whatever, I don't know. I let people do their own thing, because she definitely lets me do my own thing. That's my friend that I always say that, in fact, I don't want to really go too deep in that, but what I will say is, whenever it's come to anything to do with this twin flame journey, over the many, she's been my best pal since we were 12. That's crazy, isn't it? I can't actually fucking believe that. That's mental. But yeah, we met for she's just got me from the minute we met. And although she might not understand this twin flame thing inside out, although she really does from the night she's heard me talk about it, she's just got the connection between me and him. And that's even with him definitely going off the off-beaten track, and could be when people would be like, right, come on Claire, like, I think you need to accept it now. Like, that friend's just never said anything like that. A little bit like my other friend who's very like her, that's a bit older, she the same, has just got me and him, because they really get me, you see, so therefore they don't bash him. And when I said to my friends as well, like, if you say anything bad about him to me, that's, you're actually saying that about me. So if you love me, you know what I mean, you would, it's really hard to explain what I mean, but that's unconditional love, you know what I mean? It's like, but you can have unconditional love for people and still have boundaries, so whatever that means to you, right? Horus, slow victory. Fucking hell, that's definitely twin flamey, isn't it? Right, so look, and he's holding the ankh. Seek assistance. Fuck's sake, I don't even need to read from the book. Seek assistance, that's what the message was. Wherever you need help, seek assistance. Right, let's just read this one. So it's number 15. 15's the devil card in the tarot. So it's like, do you listen to the angel on your shoulder or the devil? Oh look, Sacred Union. Played me to Sacred Union in the book. Yeah. The devil, like, telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. Or do you listen to the angels telling you that everybody can fall into feeling like that about something and nobody's perfect? But with your twin flame, you're perfectly imperfect, but perfect for each other. The son of Osset and her murdered husband Osiris, Pharaoh of Egypt, Horus was conceived by the magic of Osset. After birth, he faced many long battles between himself and his uncle Set, who had murdered Osiris. Eventually, truth prevailed and overcame evil, as he was restored to his rightful position as Pharaoh. My statue, Edfu Temple, cannot fully represent my true glory and power. You two are not recognised for your true abilities, and success will take time. There are still trials to overcome, so call on my mother Osset and goddess Mat, who assisted me until finally I was victorious over Set. Right, so the card meanings are, that's pretty fucking heavy, isn't it? Oh, look at that. So yeah, the next card is, God, that's so deep, but that means something. The next card is Sacred Union in the book, and we pulled the one before. So, abundance, money and success will come later, but there will be some delays. It's Mercury retrograde. Love, do not enter a marriage or committed relationship at this time. Delay decisions if seeking divorce, and seek spiritual counselling and karmic release first. I'm not being funny, but I am a spiritual counsellor, just saying. And karmic release is where those of you that are still in toxic situations, dynamics, if you're still being pulled back to karmics and you feel like, why am I being pulled back to this person? when I know this isn't good for me. That's what the devil is. 15 is the devil. The devil's things like drink, drugs, sex. Again, because there's different kinds of sex, isn't there? There's like, anyway, there's no sex education, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, if people use sex to manipulate you, that's all kinds of wrong. Anyway, not saying that is for everyone, but it will be for someone if I said it. So that's why you would need to go to someone like me or a shaman. Not that, listen, no disrespect to people that do Reiki, I do Reiki too, but that ain't going to cut it, right? No, I'm talking about when someone's so entwined in someone's energy and they've got a hole in their soul, like what came through the other day in the channelings, and they need deep soul retrieval. Sometimes that could be over a few sessions. It really depends on what the damage is. If somebody's never had any kind of shamanic healing, it would be a big job, you know what I'm saying? Right. Delays in having your work recognised and promotions pass you by for now. Good time to undertake spiritual and work related studies. Travel. Best time to rest and meditate at home for the present. So this is all Mercury retrograde stuff. Health. Slow progress of both minor and major illnesses. That's already come through. Family. Some dissent and anger between family members. Oh my god, that's like that full moon. Which will take time but eventually resolve successfully. That actually came through in today's video. Which, like I said, now that it is later, that I've done this a bit longer, I will get that later, but it came through about, whenever, because it was a card that said, what did it say again? It said something like, friends or family disapprove of this connection. I was like, who gives a fuck? Do you know what I mean? I'm only joking. Well, no, I'm not joking actually, but you've got to do work on yourself to get to that point. But it's kind of like, all jokes aside, you'll find that people that had an issue, whatever they felt the issue was, it's a lot of it comes from miscommunication from the twin actually, in most situations, or depending on what the situation is, or it can be darker things like, it really, you just got to cut your losses. They really don't want you to be happy, and that's where it's quite difficult. But a lot of the time it is just their own insecurities and their own pain trying to protect someone, like codependently kind of thing. So it's, but often what I channeled was, when the sacred unions take place, they'll see how amazing you are, and that can all sort of transform. Success continues to evade you at present, but will come with persistence. Well, that's a bit fucking depressing message, isn't it? Right? What does sacred union say? Again, it's very Mercury retrograde kind of feeling. We are asking you to do more spiritual work to restore balance in your life. That's a bit I've been drawn to. In ancient days, the priestesses worked constantly with energy, prayers, and spells to bring balance first to the temple, and then balance and harmony to all of Egypt. They're calling that. So, I mean, that is what I do, but I like to say, I don't like calling things spells, but I undo the bad spells. But consider work as that's hilarious. That's what I am. Consider work as a spiritual healer or couples coach. Well, thanks. I think I was meant to look at that bit. That might be for someone out there too. Your divine star soulmate is here. Seek coaching for difficulties here and study yoga or tantra together as you bring the sacred into your relationships. But you see, we didn't pull that once, but that's what's coming. And for slow victory is what we pulled. But it is a coming. Right, so, or like I say, some people may be in it and it's just about have patience even though you're in it, I mean, that, you know what, let's do a message for the ones. Those messages I've done before could make sense for twins that are actually together, like, living together or in a committed relationship but maybe don't live with each other or married to each other. So let's do ones for them. The other ones could make sense too, but I'm guided to do that, and then I'll go. Well, where is the feminine at in a connection like that? I'm still hoping for us to work this out. Yeah, you see, so that's kind of interesting wording, that it's like they're going through it as well. I want to explain myself to you. And behind that is, you're so much worthy. You are worthy of so much more than I can give. I need to heal my own issues first, right? I feel that's like people, this is interesting. Now I want to talk to the people that I know that are in relationships with their twin, because it's like that, they go through the same stuff. I'm going to need to check in with a few people actually. Yeah, healing worthiness issues. The feminine's healing worthiness issues there. Masculine. I feel so guilty about what I've done to you. I truly hope you can forgive me one day. So, you see, this might even be like things that have happened in the past, and then like a couple haven't spoke about it. I'm facing my darkness right now. Will you see that makes sense? Because the Divine Masculine Collective as a whole, even like I'd said when I channeled that wee healing video after Hogmanay, when I'd been around a room full of men and then my shoulder hurt for days because I soak up people's pain and transmute it. You know, that's it just shows you when everyone's going through it. Everyone's going through something. Some time apart will bring us clarity we seek. Oh dear. So I mean, but you see that, that can even just be like with married couples. It can be like where there's too much codependency and it's just this absolute neediness. Because that is, you see, that is the head fuck about with twin flames, is a lot of the Divine Masculines that actually stay away. I know this from talking to loads of Divine Masculine women, but women and men. It's because it's like there is some sort of awareness, whether it's subconsciously or on a conscious level, that fuck, I'm terrified of how much actually, not only do I love this person, and if I allow myself to be around them, I'm just going to want to be around them all the time. And that, you know, that's a fucking great thing. It's a good thing. But it can also make some people feel really anxious. And again, it's like you don't really know that if you're like that. Because the thing is, it's like, if I'm being really honest, like, if I hadn't done so much work on myself, I would definitely, I would need reassurance with my twin that when he was needing a few days to himself or something, he wasn't like, you know, fucking swanning off the Benidorm or something like he liked to do. But again, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's different when you weren't actually a couple, because that's where I would have put up my protection and like, well, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I don't fucking like it, it's none of my fucking business, which is why I always actually say that, you know, anything that happens prior to me and him being together, it actually isn't but like, it is none of my business. Like, yeah, there are some things in the past that, you know, just out of respect wise, I could have done with an explanation, do you know what I mean? Or I'm not ready for this, or blah, blah, blah. But why would somebody not give you that? Because they don't want it to be over. Like, they want to keep the door open. Do you know what I mean? For when they are ready. Otherwise, they would just be like, look, could you give it up? That song's like, gotta give it up, give it up. But do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't feel the same back. And that's what I'm saying. If you're not ever getting that, it's because it's not, they don't want to say that to you. So, tricky. It is tricky. And again, people that aren't twin flames don't understand this shit, because the amount of times, you know, like I say, not too many people have said that to me over the years, but it has now and again. If somebody said something like that, like, oh, I wouldn't be able to wait around that long, well, fucking, like, that's because you're not a twin flame. You don't get it. With love, I'm saying that, you know what I mean? It's not something that, it's just a knowingness that, I'm sure I pulled a card that reminded me of what I'm saying. I don't know, it just makes me feel sick, the thought of any other guy coming near me, to be honest. That's the way I could. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? But it's like, it really does. It repulses me. So that, like I say, the journey that the feminine goes on is quite different from the masculine. Oh, I don't know. Right, anyway. You're all I've ever wanted. Right, I'm just going to end it on that, because I kind of actually feel it fits with what I'm saying. Like, that's the head fuck. It's like, you're all I've ever wanted. Well, that's what I just channeled about the feminines, isn't it? It's like, listen, all I want is him. Like, what's the fucking issue here? Do you know what I mean? The issue is he doesn't want me, or so you think, until you get to a certain point. You're like, wait a minute. Anyway, you do know that they want you, but there's nothing you can do if someone's like ignoring you. But a lot of the time, the head fucker is going to be that you think they're ignoring you, but they thought you're ignoring them. Honestly, it's all a bit cray-cray. Oh my god, my biggest regret is letting you go. See how I'm just going into my wee stories, floating off, looking about my room, and then the cards I up. So anyway, I'm going to go now, guys, because I've been sitting here talking for an hour, and I want to watch this back before I upload it. So I hope you got something from this. Definitely those of you twins that are going through whatever alone, together. You're always going through it together with your twin, together, whatever, but don't go through it alone, I guess, was the message tonight, wasn't it? Like, seek assistance where you need it, and I have got a lot of experience in this area, and one day I'll have experience of the actual being with the physical twin, and I really will be the couples counsellor then, from my own experience of being in the physical couple. But just now I'm so psychic that I can just look into the future and know and feel what it's going to be like. But yeah, no, I do help twin flame couples. I've helped twin flame couples the whole time I've had this for the past 8 years, so that's my gift with where my Chiron is in my chart. And it must come from my past lives, because it certainly doesn't fucking come from this life, does it? I just got a 111 alignment. Right, sending lots of love. See you later.